Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Destiny. In today's video, we're going to be talking about distractions. Okay, so I wanted to open up today's testimony with a story about Martha and Mary. You can find it in Luke chapter 10, verse 38 through 42, which you can read at your own discretion. So basically, Jesus and his disciples came to Martha's and Mary's house for a dinner. Martha was consumed with the details of the dinner, so she was, running around, while Mary was sitting at the foot of Jesus and was listening. Martha saw this and she became upset. She probably felt some type of way, so she said something to Jesus. And that's when Jesus was like, no, Mary is doing what's right. She's focusing and she's not distracted by everything that's going around. Like basically telling Martha, like, don't be worried about the dinner. Don't be distracted with the other things. Don't be distracted with the details. Receive your message. So that's how I wanted to open it up today. So on your walk, you'll find yourself with a purpose. So you might not know your purpose now, but if you don't know like what your specific purpose is here on earth right now at this time, then you know your purpose is to get closer with God. Your purpose is to walk in line as Jesus walked. So there's going to be worldly distractions that you have to sort through and try to determine what's God and what's not. So I want to talk about distractions today because I've been finding myself getting distracted by a lot of things, whether it's scrolling on Instagram or just thoughts that's in my mind or just things that's going on in my personal life. It's just like things that are not in line with my values for my spiritual journey. So that's one of the things that I have been working on and just finding different ways to alleviate that. So with Instagram, one of the things that I did was I put my phone on a timer. Well, it's not just Instagram, it's just the phone, period. So I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I think it starts at 9:30, 10, and then it does not cut off until 7 a.m. And it doesn't cut off until 7 a.m. because by that time I'm on my way to work. I'm getting to work. I have to do work. So it's just alleviating different distractions because again, it's supposed to be like it is on earth, like it is in heaven. So think about the things that, what has God promised me? What do I need to do to accomplish those things? How do I walk like Jesus? Because I'm pretty sure that Jesus had distractions too, but he was able to discern what's God and what's not. He was able to keep focused. He knew what he had to do. So basically just make sure that you're keeping yourself focused and not distracted by the things that are around us, especially in the world today. There's just a lot of distractions going on. And a lot of it will make you lose sight of what's important and what are the values that you have in your spiritual journey. I want to open up today's verse with Colossians chapter 3, verse 2. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. Okay, set your mind on things above and not on earthly things. So this verse, I basically just summarized it. So there can be a lot of distractions. There can be your phone that's a distraction. You can be in a bad relationship. You can be just around toxic people that can have you distracted, and those distractions to me can consume your mind. Like if it's just a lot of things that you don't want necessarily to be in line with you when you're walking on your journey. So that's why God said like he will remove some things from you. If it's not in line with him, if it's not the plan that he's given for you, then it will be removed. So that's why it's basically you have to be okay with whatever goes. You just have to be okay, and you have to know, okay, this was a distraction. If God moved this bad relationship because it was consuming your mind, had you deep in your thoughts, that's a distraction. If God removed a toxic friend from you because they were like, some people just, they're going through their own things, and that might not be in line with what you're going through. So you might need to distance yourself for that friend, and he may not remove them permanently. He may remove them temporarily, But again, it's a distraction for you. You have to be focused on what God has given you to complete. You cannot be consumed with what others are going through and, you know, letting their emotions cloud your emotions. That's just not going to work like that. So you have to be okay with whatever God throws at you. And I mean, you have to be okay with whatever life throws at you that God removes. It's okay. It probably was a distraction. In my opinion, I also feel like just there's a lot of things that we think about just as human beings, just as human nature, that I feel like just comes along with being here on earth and not in heaven. And one of those things that I feel like is a distraction is like anxiety and depression. So anxiety, like for me, I don't suffer with clinical anxiety. Like I've never been diagnosed with it or anything, but I do, me personally, I know I have anxiety, especially about my kids. Like when I first got pregnant, when I first had kids, one of the things that I would think about, okay, I have one kid, it's raining, how am I gonna get them? Like I would think about this at work for like a long time. I would be thinking about, okay, it's raining, how am I gonna get Logan in the car from the parking spot in the house, and it's pouring down, I don't have a garage. Like those are thoughts that consume my mind. Like I kid you not, it was like just thoughts and just playing out scenarios in my head, playing them out. Like I just replay the scenario and think about all the ways that it can go wrong, and then once I figure it out, then I'll do it. And then if that plan does not come into fruition, then I used to feel frustrated about it. But now it's just like, okay, pray about it. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like there's always going to be a plan. It's always going to be okay. Like it's okay. Take a breath, calm down. So that's what, I had to keep telling myself. Another distraction is depression. Depression can have you in the bed. And I know that some people are clinically depressed, and you might need to be prescribed medicine. You may need to go see that therapist, and that's something that you have to take account for yourself. I know in the Black community, I'm not even gonna say the Black community because I don't know. In general, a lot of people think, oh, you just need to pray that away. Oh, you don't even need therapy. Just pray about it. Just pray about it. But sometimes there's things that you cannot pray about. There's things that people truly need to work through, and if they need to seek a therapist, they shouldn't be like frowned upon, like, girl, you need to see, like, that's something that they need to do for themselves. And I don't know why that's like in a lot of households there's this stigma with therapy and parents not wanting to put their kids in therapy, like when they see concerning behavior. I don't know. I mean, I'm a believer of therapy. Like if I feel like my kids need to go to therapy, then I'm gonna put them in therapy. If there's things that they're going through that I don't know how to give them the right tools to work through, I'm gonna take them to therapy. If I feel like my kids have been through some trauma or something, yes, I'm gonna be that parent that gives my kids the tools that they need to succeed in life. Like I want to see my kids win. I don't want to see them fail. Especially if you know that they've had, let me stay focused. Okay, so anyways, but yes, depression. So depression can have you in the bed. Depression can have you, not wanting to do things. So if you're depressed, how are you completing things that God has told you to do? So it's just one of those things that if you find yourself like unmotivated or getting sad, it's like, okay, I know God didn't give me these emotions to feel. Like my God does not want me to feel sad. My God wants me to have joy in life. Like enjoy life. Enjoy it here. He doesn't want to see you sad. He doesn't want to see you crying. Like that's not what God is about. God is about restoring and forgiving and just, I don't know. It's just so much more than just feeling those emotions. Now, however, I'm not gonna say that when you're on your spiritual journey, there won't be like times where you're just like, you're sad. Like, no, Jesus suffered. He suffered a lot. A lot of the people in the Bible suffered a lot. So one of the things that you have to, be comfortable with is knowing the fact that yes, on this walk you will suffer, because that's inevitable. We are going to suffer through some things, but you have to know that that's not going to last forever. It's that feeling is not going to last forever. You know, that feeling that you feel right now, it may just last a week, it may last 2 weeks. I don't know if this is healthy or not, but for me, when I'm feeling sad, I give myself like, okay, I'll say, okay, I'm giving myself a day. You get a day to feel this emotion, then tomorrow you need to go back and do what you were doing. Like that's something that I've always done. Like I'm not about to allow myself to feel any type of way for a long time. And this was even before I got on my spiritual journey. Like I'm just not that type of person to just be sad and in my feelings. Like, no, I'm gonna give myself these couple of days, maybe 1 or 2, you know, to be sad. It's like, it hasn't even been that anymore. Like now that I'm on my spiritual journey, it's been like, okay, probably 30 minutes or an hour, but like I don't know. I just know that God has something in plan for me. Like when I'm feeling mad, when I'm feeling sad, when I'm just feeling not at joy, like not happy, I just remind myself like, okay, this didn't work out your way. It's not working out your way. It's not going the way that you wanted it to be. But just know that God has something better in store for you. And just thanking God for, you know, bringing me into his arms and embracing me, and being there with me through my ups and downs. Like he's still with me, knowing that he's never gonna leave me. You know, people might come and go out my life, but God is never gonna leave me. And God is your priority, right? He's my priority. So knowing that I still have him, whether, you know, my life is shattering, I'm going through some tragic heartbreak, I'm going through a divorce or whatever comes to the future, just knowing that God is going to be with me through those suffering times is enough for me to be at peace. So I don't know. It's just one of the things, like, I don't allow myself to be mad. I guess in a sense, I'm striving to be that person. They say, like, she doesn't let anything get under her skin. Like, that's what I'm trying to be like. Like, it just bounces off. Like, if there's negative feelings, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. If it's meant to be, it will be. Like, you know, that type of person. Like, that's what I'm getting towards. Like, just roll with the punches. It's all right. If that way didn't work out, I'll try it another way. Yes. So I guess it is truly being at peace in a sense. So do y'all pronounce it Galatians or Galatians? Because, you know, people pronounce words differently. But I say, I don't know. What do I say? I say Galatians, but whatever. Okay. Anyways, it's chapter 1, verse 10. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of God. So basically in this verse it's saying, are you being distracted about trying to please people and trying to live to other people's expectations? Are you trying to be in line with God? Because if you're not trying to be in line with God, you're not being a servant. So it doesn't matter what people say, or, you know, how people feel. They might not understand that the walk that you're on, the purpose that you're given, the things that you need to do to be in line with God. It might be your friends getting upset with you because you're canceling plans and saying, no, girl, I gotta go home, I need to read my Bible. It might be you canceling on going to a party and say, no, it's, you know, the Spirit is just not telling me to go to that party, or the Spirit is just not telling me to drink. Like, it's just different things that God will tell you to do that other people might not understand. And again, you have to be okay with that, because again, you're not put on this earth to please people. We weren't put on this earth to be, you know, just some people pleaser that's gonna, you know, make people happy. Like, we were put on earth with the purpose, and the purpose was given by God. So once you determine your purpose, then you'll see what's important. Like, if all the things that I'm doing in life, are they in line with the values that I have for myself? So I touched on this earlier, but I think that it's a lot. Like, our minds, the things that we tell ourselves are very much things that we probably would not share with anyone else, especially if you suffer from, not even suffer, especially if you have like a lot of self-doubt or insecurities, or just, You just have a lot of things that's on your mind that, you know, God is not placing you there. So, you know, our thoughts are not God's thoughts. Like the thoughts that we have that are dark, those are not God's thoughts. You know, the devil can place thoughts in your mind and have you just wondering and just going crazy, especially if you're already going through a bad situation and you let those thoughts consume you. So basically, what I'm saying is pray and meditate on what's important. Meditate on the word. So reading the Bible, clearing your mind, and just asking God to clear your mind, like saying, God, this has been on my mind, please remove it. This is, you know, really stressful for me right now. Or like shaking it off. Because that's something, like, I have to do that a lot. I have to just shake it off, like, okay, nah, like really tell yourself, okay, no, this isn't God. This isn't God talking. This is me talking. This is me trying to talk myself out of something. This is the devil trying to put, you know, negative thoughts in my head. Or this is just insecurities. I'm edit that out. Or this is just insecurities that I need to work through. Like, really trying to get the root of to why you are thinking those things, and then working your way back into what's positive. So it's really trying to get out negativity in your mind, having mindfulness. I know there's a lot of books on it that's clinical, or, you know, just self-help books. So if you need to do that, then do that. Whatever you need to clear your mind, clear your mind. Okay? So I'm going to end out the testimony today with Philippians chapter 4, verse 8 through 9. Is it? Yep. Okay. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. So, distractions and peace go hand in hand. If you remove the distractions out of your life that are not meant to serve you, that are not adding value to your life, that are not in line with what God has ordained for you, remove them. Yes, it might be hard. Yes, you might have to. You find yourself like, okay, I keep thinking these things, and just finding different practices. If it's writing affirmations to yourself in the morning time, if it's, you know, listening to sermons, if it's listening to the same song over and over, it doesn't matter. Just if you have distractions that's going on, remove them. Try your best to remove them, because if you're distracted, you're not going to be at peace. If you're not at peace, you're not going to receive the message of what God is trying to tell us. There's a lot of messages that God tries to tell us that we miss because we're distracted by different things. So if we, you know, try to alleviate the distractions and just remove them and truly be at peace, it's going to be more easier for us to hear what God is telling us. So I'm going to go ahead and close out today's testimony. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing on my spiritual journey. If you have any comments, suggestions for removing distractions, drop them down below. Again, happy growing.